Salvation is found in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven given to mankind by which you must be saved. That's in Acts 4:12. You may mute the video if you're a visual learner. Please note that this is not a comprehensive guide and there is no guarantee that the same questions will appear in your actual exam. The real goal is to build your knowledge and critical thinking skills. As you can see in the actual examination answer sheet, it is a multiple choice type of test. The left is multiple choice type of test, but during our study session, like right now, we will be posting true or false and sometimes situational type of test to exercise your brain. So again, the goal here is to gain knowledge and also to build your critical thinking skills. So let's start. Principles of education. Which principle emphasizes that learning should progress from the known to the unknown, ensuring comprehension and mastery? A. Principle of continuity. B. Principle of readiness. C. Principle of activity. Or D. Principle of interest. Answer is B. Principle of readiness. Learning is most effective when students are mentally and developmentally prepared to grasp new concepts. Next, which principle asserts that learning is most effective when students are actively engaged in meaningful experiences rather than passively receiving information? A. Principle of activity. B. Principle of individual differences. C. Principle of transfer. D. Principle of recency. Answer is A. Principle of activity. Active participation enhances understanding, retention, and critical thinking. True or false? The principle of individual differences implies that all learners should be treated identically to ensure fairness. Answer is false. Instructions should be differentiated to accommodate learners' abilities, interests, and learning styles. Which principle emphasizes that knowledge acquired in one situation can be applied to another similar situation? A. Principle of recency. B. Principle of readiness. C. Principle of motivation. Or D. Principle of transfer. Answer is D. Principle of transfer. It enables learners to apply learned skills and concepts to new contexts. True or false? The principle of continuity states that learning should be organized in a sequential manner, building progressively on previous knowledge. Answer is true. Sequential organization strengthens understanding and mastery over time. Which principle stresses that motivation and interest are essential for effective learning? A. Principle of interest and motivation. B. Principle of recency. C. Principle of readiness. D. Principle of activity. Answer is A. Principle of interest and motivation. Learners engage more deeply when instruction is meaningful and aligned with their interests. Which principle asserts that learning should begin with the simplest concepts and gradually progress to complex ones? A. Principle of continuity. B. Principle of recency. C. Principle of progression. Or D. Principle of activity. Answer is C. Principle of progression. Gradual increase in complexity helps learners build understanding step by step. True or false? The principle of recency indicates that what is learned most recently is most easily recalled and applied. Answer is true. Recent learning tends to be more vivid and readily accessible. Which principle emphasizes that learners retain knowledge better when they can connect new learning to past experiences and prior knowledge? A. Principle of continuity. B. Principle of transfer. C. Principle of activity. Or D. Principle of motivation. Answer is A. Principle of continuity. Linking new concepts to prior knowledge strengthens understanding and memory. True or false? The principle of reinforcement is unnecessary because intrinsic motivation alone guarantees effective learning. Answer is false. Reinforcement, whether positive or corrective, strengthens learning and encourages persistence. Which principle focuses on the holistic development of learners? addressing intellectual, moral, social, and physical growth. A. Principle of activity. B. Principle of readiness. C. Principle of recency. D. Principle of wholeness or holistic development. Answer is D. Principle of wholeness or holistic development. Effective education nurtures all dimensions of a learner's growth. Which principle encourages learners to engage in problem solving and critical thinking activities to internalize knowledge effectively? A. Principle of recency. B. Principle of transfer. C. Principle of activity. D. Principle of reinforcement. Answer is C. Principle of activity. Active engagement promotes deeper understanding and cognitive development. True or false, the principle of motivation asserts that learners' interest and desire to learn do not significantly affect learning outcomes. Answer is false. Motivation is critical. Students learn more effectively when they are engaged and interested. Which principle emphasizes that learning should consider students' developmental stage and cognitive readiness? A. Principle of readiness. B. Principle of transfer. C. Principle of reinforcement. D. Principle of continuity. Answer is A. Principle of readiness. Instruction must match learners' mental, emotional, and developmental readiness. Which principle highlights that repeated practice and reinforcement strengthen learning and memory? A. Principle of motivation. B. Principle of activity. C. Principle of transfer. D. Principle of reinforcement. Answer is D. Principle of reinforcement. Repetition and feedback solidify knowledge and skills. True or false, the principle of progression recommends teaching the most difficult concepts first to challenge learners immediately. Answer is false. Learning should progress from simple to complex concepts to ensure understanding. Which principle suggests that learning experiences should be meaningful and connected to real-life situations? A. Principle of recency. B. Principle of relevance. C. Principle of readiness. D. Principle of reinforcement. Answer is B. Principle of relevance. Relevant content increases engagement and application of knowledge. True or false, the principle of activity can include discussions, experiments, projects, and collaborative learning experiences. Answer is true. Active engagement occurs through a variety of experiential and participatory methods. Which principle encourages instruction that accounts for students' varying abilities, backgrounds, and interests? A. Principle of individual differences. B. Principle of recency. C. Principle of reinforcement. D. Principle of progression. Answer is A. Principle of individual differences. Differentiation ensures effective learning for all students. True or false, the principle of transfer only applies to academic learning and cannot be applied to practical or life skills. It is false. Transfer applies to academic, practical, social, and life skills, enabling learners to apply knowledge broadly. That's it for today. God bless us all.